Hello and welcome to another episode of the Scarf Bagara War, your award-winning nominated podcast. I don't know if you heard about this, Steve, but we've been nominated for Best Fan Content for the Northwest in the Northwest Awards.
That's brilliant, mate. That's really good news. I'm absolutely made up for you. Absolutely made up for you.
Cheers. So apparently, like, Jurgen Klopp and Pep are going to be there and things. So, you know,
nice.
I'll rub shoulders with him in the toilet. Yeah.
I must be waiting for my invite.
I'm sure it's in the post. They've been on strike.
It must be. Does strike? Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is, honestly.
But yeah, thanks for joining me on this. I think it's about the third or fourth one we've done now for the Stockport County ladies. Usual agenda. We'll talk about the results that we've had since the start of the season because we've not spoken. We've just worked it out since the start of the season. So
yeah,
there's plenty of games to get through, and then look ahead to some of the fixtures, especially the FA Cup after the great win, which we'll talk about against Peterborough. So yeah, let's start. I mean, like I say, we've not spoken since sort of mid August. Bit of a rocky start to the season after what was probably a good and decent home draw against Durham.
Yeah, it was a really good start because obviously we played Durham last game of the season and they beat us 5-1 or 5-0. So it was a good benchmark to go out there and draw 0-0 with them. So I thought, we're onto something here. We're doing really well. But we did have a real tough run of fixtures because week after we had Newcastle away, and then on a Wednesday night we had Leeds away. You know, which the Newcastle game was good. We played at the Falcons Stadium, so I think it was about 1,500 there or something like that. So, wow. Which was good. We went up there. I wouldn't say negative, but I went up there a bit cautious. And I think if we went again today or tomorrow on Sunday, I'd go and have a go at them. You know, I thought I could be given too much respect, and that, you know, I'll take the blame for that because the way we set up. Because I'd never played Newcastle before, and I thought, these are going to be, you know, on fire and go through us like a butter through knife. But honestly, we battled and we worked hard, and we were unlucky not to come away with something. They were the better side, but you know, we worked hard, and then we played Leeds on the Wednesday, another away trip on the Wednesday night after Newcastle away, and it was just a game too much for us. We went at the races and got a hammer and 4-0, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll come to the more recent results very shortly, but just picking up on something you said in that Newcastle match, then did you feel that you just said you're onto something, especially with the Durham match, and maybe being a bit sort of, you know, not being as positive as you should have been against Newcastle? Did you think then that there was something bubbling? You know, you could feel something bubbling within the team that they were going to sort of pull a run together at some point?
Yeah, but we've been feeling that through pre-season, to be honest, because the atmosphere has been building within the squad, and it's been really good. And when we played Durham and we got the 0-0, it was really positive. And although we got beat at Newcastle, it was such a good performance, you know, against a league, a side that's going to be tipped to romp the league, or they were tipped to romp the league, but it's not turning out that way so much at the moment. So yeah, it was still a good performance, and it's sort of built in slowly as the season's gone on now, and we're up to where we're at now, and you know, we're sort of on a really good run at the moment. So yeah, you could feel it coming. We just didn't have any luck. But yeah, I'm glad where we're at now.
Yeah, it sounds similar to the men's side, if I'm being honest.
We won't
talk about that.
It's all positive on here, Russ.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I'm going to stay positive. Stay positive. Yeah. So just, I mean, talk a bit about the squad. I mean, you named some players last time. Is it a settled group of players now? Is there much ins and outs as the season wears on, or is it like you've got the core now and that's it? You're sticking with it.
Yeah, we've got the core now. So we've got about 19. We've got you know, a really good solid base to work from. Trying to keep them happy is not always the easiest option. You know, we're having to rotate. We've got 2 games in a week coming up. So we're having to rotate, which has caused how can I describe it? Caused 1 or 2 discussions, shall we say, between me and the players. So we're just trying to find that balance, but that's because we've got such a good squad. You know, we've got good players and cover for players, with other good players. So that's I suppose that's a positive from a manager's point of view. But trying to manage them and trying to keep everyone happy as well as picking your best 11 at the same time is something that I'm learning to do gradually. It's not easy, but I think we're getting there slowly. So, but it's a really good squad. We've got to keep it in on loan from Liverpool Feds. Faye Bonus, she's just won our Player of the Month this month. Since she's been in, she hasn't conceded a goal for us. Yeah, she played the Durham game and then went away for 2 weeks. And has come back and has not conceded. So she's doing really well, and that's given the defence lots of confidence in front of her to play. We've got a really good, solid midfield. Changed a bit of shape, play a bit of a diamond, and we've got strikers who, get chances and create chances. We just got to get in the habit now of scoring more goals. We've kept clean sheets, so we need to score more goals now, which is the be all and end all of football, really.
Yeah, that's the stat that counts, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Going back to the goalkeeper department, you were looking for a goalkeeping coach. Is that all sorted now? You've got a full roster of staff.
Yep. We got a lad called Luke Watson. He came in and joined us. He was the first one to apply. He does some work with Oldham in the community and stuff like that, which is his day job. And he's come in and I think he's ex County Academy player.
Right.
And he lives in Stockport. He's around the corner from Woodley. So yeah, and he's come in and he's doing really well. He's only a young lad, and he's doing well with the keepers and he's enjoying it, and he seems to be a perfect fit, to be quite honest. So yeah, we're really pleased with him.
That's what you want. Is he a County fan or is he?
Yes.
Good. All right, great. Well, there you go. That's what you want. That's brilliant.
Yeah. I think the first night he was there and he come down to meet me. I turned up and he stood next to Dave Chandler. He didn't know where to put his face. He's like, is it like this all the time? I was like, no, not really. Just come down to see us. So but yeah, it's good. He's good. He's a good lad.
Yeah, good. No,
and he's fluent in Spanish as well.
Really? Bloody hell!
Yeah.
So if we get
if he does his initiation song in Spanish. It's brilliant.
What song was it?
Espedito, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah. I know which one you mean. Yeah, the one that's been in the pop charts recently.
Yeah. The one you can sing when you've had a few.
Yeah. I know which one you mean. So Bradford City at home then. So move on from Leeds. Bradford City at home. What sort of performance was that? I mean, obviously 3-2 loss at home, but got the first 2 goals of the season on the card.
Yeah, it's one of them, that Bradford City game. I look back at it now and it hurts me because we played really well throughout the game, and we were in control of the game. We were only 1-0 up, but we were in control of the game. And I said to the girls at half time, just keep going out, go out, do what you're doing. And it was a bit of a freak goal. They've shot from the edge of the area under no danger. It's hit one of our players on the back. It's gone up in the air. The keeper's come running out to get it. It's hit the ground and spun and gone into the net. Just gone past it, honestly. And it changed the game because everyone else just went, oh no, not again. And it just changed the game. And I felt sorry for Charlie, who was in goal at the time, because it was just a freak spin. And if that hadn't gone in, I think we would have won the game, and we would have took our first 3 points at home, which is the one we targeted that game. But then we give a penalty away in the last minute. So we got back to 2-2, but we give a penalty away in the last minute and we lost the game. So and that is the only game that Bradford have won this season as well, which is it's so frustrating. I won't say annoying, but frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, but if you, you'd have been on the side, wouldn't you? Thinking this frustrating. Our luck's just not in terms of that goal and maybe conceding at the end. It kind of it feels like it's paved the way for the next 3 matches, which
absolutely.
Because you tell me you probably saw the progression, did you, with them? And you bemoan your luck and you talk about not being at the races against Newcastle. It all sort of crescendos now to getting a really good win at Hull away, and then is that then the start of right? We know we can do it now. The confidence is there. Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, we'd played well apart from the Leeds game, we played well at Newcastle. We played well against Durham. So you could see the basis of what we did. I mean, played well against Bradford. So then, on the back of that, although it was disappointing to lose in the manner that we lost, everyone was still fuming at how we've lost. But we were still positive that, you could see the change. And when we went to Hull, we were a different animal. We looked solid. We looked like we wanted to win every first, second, and third ball, and that's continued now. And Hull were flying because Hull had gone to Newcastle and won the week before. They'd gone there and won 4-3. So we gone there and beat them 2-0. And they were on a bit of an upward turn as well. I think at the time they beat Newcastle and then the Queen's funeral happened. So there was a bit of a gap and a bit of a lull for them, which probably didn't help them, but it helped us because I was looking around at all the other teams and they were doing team bonding sessions, going out canoeing, and I thought, what should we do? And I thought, we've had a tough start to the season. What should we do? So I give them a day off, and it was the best thing we ever did because they came back and the first training session back, we were absolutely at it, and it showed in the whole game. And we went up there and we dominated them, and we were excellent, and that's continued. That's continued now, and we're dominating games. We're winning the game quite comfortably, really.
Yeah, you alluded to before. Before we got into Peterborough and Barnsley, you alluded to before about player management, and is that like a real test for you now? I guess you're from the men's game. Is it slightly different in the women's game, that player management and how you approach that?
Yeah. Well, I'm from the men's game, but I've always been a coach or an assistant manager, so I haven't had to do sort of player management jobs.
Right.
So this is all like a learning curve for me, being in charge of the group and having to manage their expectations, their emotions, and trying to keep the balance on that, as well as trying to get results. So it is a learning curve, and I'm not going to get it right all the time. And I've said that to the girls. Every decision I make, I try and make for the best for the team. It might not be best for an individual, but it'll be, in my opinion, the best option for the team at that time. And I won't get it right all the time, but I'm learning. But the women's side of thing, there's a lot of emotion involved in the women's football, more than I would say with the men's. Because with men's it's just raw. With the women, it's a lot of emotion. So I'm learning about that and how to deal with that. But I've realised over the last couple of days that is a real thing in the women's football, definitely.
Yeah, I can see that. On to Peterborough then in the FA Cup. Now, on the face of it, it looks like
a League Cup, that, Russ.
Oh, sorry, League Cup.
It was a League Cup,
yeah. League Cup. On the face of it, if a county fan who's just a county fan of the men's game comes along, you'll probably go, "That's a really tough game, Peterborough away." Was it? I think they're are they in the same division, but in the south?
Midlands.
Midlands.
Yeah, Midlands. But they're like fourth in their league. So the week before they'd won 4-0. So they were on paper they were half decent. We'd watched videos of them and stuff. And we went down there not knowing, because we don't know what their league's like. Yeah. And again, we dominated the game. We really did. We went down there and we just couldn't put the ball in the net. And that was the key to the game. We absolutely dominated them. We passed them off the pitch, and it went to extra time. And luckily, we snatched it in extra time. But the togetherness was really starting to show then. Because we've been to Hull away, 2.5 hours. Then we've been to Peterborough 3 and a bit hours, and won both of them. So there's a real buzz about the team then, and that's when you really started to notice that we were onto something, and we were starting to motor.
Who got the late goal in that one?
Maz Maria Figueiredo.
Right. Yeah.
So it was good work by Levi Rathburn. She sort of drove through the defence, got a shot, the keeper's parried it right into a path, and she's just buried it in the bottom corner, so nice. It was good. And it was late on as well. It was first half of extra time, I think it was, and then we held out. We seen the game out. We got ugly then. We take our time to throw in, just go down nice and easy if you have to. And we seen the game out, and I'd never seen that from the girls before. Sort of bit of game management, and that was the big thing that we took away from it: the game management.
Good stuff. I'm trying to find
Yeah.
who we got in the next round of the League Cup.
It's not been drawn yet because
right. Okay.
It's a strange how they do it because there's 34 teams or 36 teams still left in it, and they've got to get it down to 32. So they have another preliminary round, but there's only two games in it.
Got you. Right.
So they've got to get rid of one team from the north, or two teams from the north and two teams from the south, to make it a 32 team competition, and then they draw it, which is this weekend. So the draw will be next Monday or Tuesday, I would have thought.
Right.
For the next round. So.
And who joins that round? Is that the Championship and WSL, or is it not that?
No, it's just a League Cup, so it's just FAWNL.
Right. Okay. Understood.
Yeah, Championships doesn't, and WSL don't come into it. So, but it is nationwide. So obviously we play Peterborough. I think we can play teams like, I don't know, Portsmouth and teams like that.
Right.
You know, I think it's a nationwide cup, like so.
Yeah.
So
okay.
But there's nothing other than the prestigious of winning it. I don't think there's no monetary value to it or anything, you know, and there's a lot of travel in it. So, but you know, we've never been this far. We've never got into it fully like this. We've always been pushed into the plate. So yeah, so it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. And any kind of win breeds more confidence, doesn't it? I mean, that's any kind of football.
100%. You know, the coach journey home, 3 hours on a coach journey home after you've won 1-0 after extra time.
Yeah,
it's a good coach journey home.
Yeah.
So.
Just a bit on the coach journeys then. I think are you using the first team coaching company? Yes, you're getting
Adam with Beeline.
Yeah, brilliant. And how's that working out?
Oh, it's brilliant. You know, Adam's brilliant with us. You know, I think we went to Leeds and it was a night game. And when we got back on the coach, he bought everyone a Domino's. You know, he bought like 3 or 4 Domino's. Said, "That's for the girls."
Nice.
So he's brilliant, Adam. Yeah, he's brilliant, and his coach is a top drawer. Like, really nice.
Yeah, good stuff. That's really good to hear. On to then the Barnsley win. So I mean, this is a coup, isn't it? I mean, Barnsley top of the league, favourites to go up, favourites to be up there with Newcastle.
I wouldn't have said so before the season. But you know, what Lois has done there, she's done a real good job this season. You know, and they'd gone into that game, or we went into that game. They'd won every game they'd played. They drew the week before with Merseyrail, but we were the first team to stop them scoring. They were top of the league. They were on a high, and we've gone up there and we've done really well. We've dominated the first half really, and then the second half we came out with a bit of a headwind. But you know, she said that they were the better team second half, but she said, we've done everything but score. But you know, our keep phase only made one save and one punch. And we missed a penalty in the last 2 minutes as well. So it could have been 2-0. You know, we've had the better chances. They were the better team second half, but we've had the better chances. So it was another good. I said on Twitter after, it was a horrible display because we were horrible. We were winning tackles when we shouldn't be winning tackles. We were winning free kicks when we shouldn't be winning free kicks. We were slowing the game down. And it was a real professional performance away from home. And 1-0 against the league leaders, you take that all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially away from home as well.
Oh, absolutely. The pitch is terrible where they play as well. Dreadful.
I was going to say, where did they play? Because when I was involved, we played Barnsley away, and they were flying at the top of the league. I mean, they beat us, I think, 2 or 3-0 at the time. We played at Oakwell's training ground just next to Oakwell. So I take it this wasn't. It was this a grass pitch somewhere out in the sticks. Was it something? Yeah,
they play at a place called One Well Sports.
Right.
Oh, honestly. Might as well play in my garden. Honestly, it's terrible. Honestly, when September, and you think, well, it's going to be, maybe a little bit dry, but the grass will be short. No, it's like a cow field. Honestly, it's dreadful. It's dreadful. But we went there last year. When we needed a win to stay up, and we beat them 3-0 on a Wednesday night. So it's a good place for us. So I shouldn't moan about the pitch really, because we did quite well there.
You probably played on worse pitches in your time, though, haven't you? I know I have.
Oh God, yeah.
Some bogs,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, looking at the table, 9th out of 12. Growing into the season, I would say that's what it sounds like. I've been following you on Twitter and reading your reports. Winner against. I need to probably keep closer to it. Winner against Barnsley. Jess Battle.
No, it was Ella Ritchie.
Okay, right.
Ella's a new signing this year. She's moved up here from sort of Midlands, like played for Burton last year, so that was her first goal. That was her first goal for the club. So,
Did she used to play for Derby?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
finally, I've got something right.
Yes.
There you go.
But yeah, she scored the goal and she took it well. Shauna Jane put the ball over the top. She's run onto it and lobbed the keeper from the edge of the box. So it was a really good finish. But you know, the real winner of that day was how we defended. You know, it was we were solid. We'd still be playing now. They wouldn't have scored. I don't think, honestly.
Yeah.
We were just really good.
What's your playing philosophy then? Is it shore up at the back, do all the things right at the back first, and then you can sort of build on that? Because you can't lose matches if you don't concede goals, can you?
No, so I like to play quick and fast with short passing. But yeah, keep the defence tight to start with. Play through midfield. But once we get into that midfield area, then that's when we want to be looking, can we move it forward quickly in behind? Because we've got pace up front. You know, that's one thing that we do have is pace. We've got good players in midfield who move the ball, and since I've been in here, that's the one thing that I've tried to introduce to us, how quick we move the ball. And I think we probably move the ball quicker than most teams in our league, if not all. You know, so that's definitely something that we work on all the time in training. We're constantly at them to move the ball speed, quickness, angles, creating triangles, and just get it into channels and let our forwards do the work up there and get in behind them and help them out.
Sounds good. And next match is Sunday.
Middlesbrough. Sunday at home to Middlesbrough.
Yeah. 2 p.m. kickoff. Say it every time we talk, but season ticket holders for County are free.
Correct.
And we've got 5,000 of us now, so there should be some more coming down.
4,999 there on Sunday then.
Yeah. So have you noticed? I think I did a tweet or a message, Pete. Has there been more? Have you seen more County fans coming? I know. We have. The one game that we have played at home, because we've only played once at home all season. Every other game's been away. So the one game that we played at home, I think we had about 75, 80 through the gate. Whereas last season it was only sort of 30. So there's been an uptake in people coming, and some of the lads are down there with the flags and singing the songs, which is great. So hopefully that continues and get more and more down to see. And we've got 2 games next week. We've got Sunday and Wednesday next week. So it'd be great to see as many people as possible we can get down there, especially with the run that we're on. You know, it'll give the girls a massive boost going into 2 tough games like so. Yeah, and 2 teams that are in and around us, aren't they? So beat Middlesbrough, we leapfrogged them, and Chorley are a couple of points behind, aren't they? So yeah,
definitely. I think who did Chorley play this weekend? Chorley play Leeds this weekend. So so that we could be going into that if we win our game, and they say that they lose their game. We could really open up the gap between us and the bottom there. So that's the target for this week, is to take maximum points. Middlesbrough a bit hit and miss. They get good results. 3-0, 4-0 away from home and stuff like that. But then they got beat by Durham 3-0 last week. So yeah, I think Andy Campbell's in charge of them. Remember, he's played for Middlesbrough and Cardiff.
Yeah.
And he's a bit old school. I think he plays 4-4-2 or something like that. So you don't come across many teams these days who play two in the middle. So hopefully we can exploit that and get at them. Like I say, confidence is high, and we're just going into that and carry on with what we've been doing, and hopefully pick up 3 points Sunday, followed by 3 points Wednesday, and that'll put us on what? Where are we up to? 10 and so that 13 points.
Yeah,
13 points. So that's a good return from our first. What will that be? 7 games? Will it be?
Yeah.
8 games. 13 points from 8 games.
Yeah, 13 points from 8 games. Yeah.
So we'd be on target then. We're probably 3 points behind target where we are now. So beating Barnsley is probably give us that 3 points back, but we've got to capitalise on that with Middlesbrough and Chorley on Wednesday, and then we'll be on target then.
Yeah, because after that it's the Women's FA Cup, isn't it, against Altofs? Yeah,
we've got a bit of a break. I think we've got a week off again, but then we've got Altofs at home, which is good. We're at home for that one. So they're in Eastern Regional League Division 1 or Premier. I can't remember, but I think the 2 leagues below what we are. So it's a real good chance for us to progress in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Which we've never done as a club before. We've never won an FA Cup game. So it's a real good chance to make history for the ladies section of the club. And obviously the monetary value this year is really good as well. Don't quote me, but I'm sure if we win this game, we get $4,000.
Wow.
And if we win the next game after that, we get $6,000. So that's the target, to win 2 games in that competition to get into the second round proper.
That's a really good incentive, isn't it? I know you said the League Cup was more prestige, but it's just testament of the women's game and how much it's growing, isn't it, in terms of the prize money that's trickling down now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I read somewhere that last season's semi-final winners of the Women's FA Cup, so like Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, or whoever it was, they only got $5,000 for that.
Wow. So
this year, for the 3rd qualifying round, they're already giving out $4,000 for the winner, and for the next round, $6,000 for the winner of that. So in total, that's a really good step in the right direction for the women's game, which is fantastic to see. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely, and helped on obviously by the women winning the Euros in the summer as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as we talk, England are just preparing to play a friendly against the USA tonight, aren't they?
Yeah. I think it's sold out, Wembley, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's sold out.
Which is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it would have been unheard of 2 or 3 years ago. That.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic the way it's going. And then just to touch on one more fixture after that, into November. Hopefully, we'll speak to each other around about that time, if not before. Merseyrail away, and they're bottom. So, go into if you get what you want from Middlesbrough and Chorley, Altofs is kind of a free hit in the FA Cup. Although obviously you want to win it and get that history. I didn't know that we'd never won an FA Cup match, but let's do that. Then it's Merseyrail. The fixtures are looking nice, aren't they? Up until the middle of November.
It's looking okay. At the moment, particularly because when the fixtures came out, we knew we had a really tough start to the season. So when we picked up a point against Durham, that was a bonus. So the disappointing was the Bradford one, but now we're going into a run of fixtures where we feel that we can take maximum points out of the games, and the way we've been playing and the way that we're keeping clean sheets now. We're definitely going into that thinking, oh, hang on, we could be on 17 points by the end of that Merseyrail game. Sorry, 16 points by the end of that Merseyrail game, which really puts us in the, that puts us right in the mix of top 4. So planning European trips and everything here, Russ.
You got to aim high, haven't you? You got to aim high.
Absolutely. I just mentioned that FA Cup game because we are at home, and like I say, we've never progressed in the FA Cup, so that would be a real target match to get as many fans in as we possibly can. So hopefully we'll be able to get a good few hundred in for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll definitely shout about it on the podcast.
Cool, that'd be great.
So yeah, definitely we'll get that. I guess that won't be free for season ticket holders with it being a cup match, but we'll see what comes out from that.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you'd have to pay.
Yeah, which is fair enough, and it's standard for cup matches. So
I think it's the same in the men's game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there's no shock there. Just finally, then, before we wrap up, because we've covered quite a lot there. Who's been? I don't know if you want to name some players, but who's been the standout players for you in this sort of opening part of the season?
I'd have to say Faye, who came in from Feds. She's played 4 games now. Is that 4? Yeah, 4 games now. She hasn't conceded a goal. Yeah. So you've got to say straight away that her in the back 4 have been immense. But then the way we play, because we play a diamond in midfield, the 3 and the 10 have also been immense. We've just been solid. We've been winning everything in that midfield. So it's been an all-round team performance. But the one thing that we've lacked is winning games by 3, 4, 5. That's the only thing that we've lacked. But I'm sure that's going to come in time. Jess Battle's just been away for 2 weeks. Who's a prolific goal scorer. Yeah. So when she went away, we'd lost 3 on the bounce, sort of thing. But she scored the 2 goals in the Bradford game. so now she's back and getting back up to match speed with us the way we're playing, and the players that we've already got in Ella, Kenzie Bentley, who's come in from a lower level, who's doing really well. Maria, who scored against Peterborough. We've got a really good nucleus of a really strong squad, and then backing them up with really good players coming off the bench. So I'm very happy with how the squad's shaped up, and we're very strong in every department. It's like I said before, it's just managing their expectations and keeping everyone, wanting to be playing and keeping them happy.
Yeah, keeping them part of it. I mean, that's the most challenging part of any football manager, really, isn't it? No matter what level you're at, where you are in the game, player management, it's just got to be the hardest thing, hasn't it? Because
absolutely,
human beings at the end of the day, aren't they? So
yeah, and footballers want to play football. I'm sure there's a famous saying somewhere, or a song says, "Players only love you when they're playing."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's so true. It's so true. Because when they're not selected or when they're not in the squad, even we have there's plenty of conversations been going on about it. So I've just got to try and keep going and keep that momentum going that we've got. I'm sure the girls are buzzed. I'm sure they just want to be part of this winning mentality that we've got at the moment, which is understandable. Everyone wants to be playing when you're winning games, don't they? No matter what level you're at. So which is important.
Absolutely, yeah. Fleetwood Mac. That's who said it.
That's it. Was.
Can't name. I could probably name the song if we had time. But yeah, no. Really appreciate you coming on. Thanks so much for joining me again and taking us through that. I promise next time I'll come with better facts in my head, or at least written down somewhere. I don't know if you know, but we are notorious on the show for not doing research, but it shouldn't be a badge of honor. It should be something we need to rectify.
No, that's
really.
That's fine. I don't mind giving you the facts as we go along. It's quite all right. You got to come and watch us though. You got to come down and watch us.
Yeah, I will do. I need to make an effort to do that. It's just not felt right. And I think, like you say, there's only been one home match anyway. So I will definitely come and say hello.
If you come down, I'll even get you in for free. But bring your season ticket with you.
Oh, do you know what? I was going to stop myself then, but I might as well say it anyway. That sounds like a Scouser. You just sound like a Scouser now. I love it. Just to say to everybody who's listening, watching, if you're watching on YouTube, please do like and subscribe if you like this. If you listen to us on any podcast player, Spotify, iTunes, any podcast player that you listen to, please do rate us, comment, and that kind of thing, and share it. It really does help the channel grow. Thank you very much. Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck on Sunday. And let's hope that the next few fixtures, like we say, into November, really do go well for us and set us up for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much for having us on again, Russ. Really appreciate it.
See you later. Bye.
See you now. Bye.
Bye.